With the NFL season coming to an end and the NBA being almost impossible to watch, the excitement for the MLB season is slowly but surely growing. Now, as a Brewers fan who's been heartbroken after watching the events of the wild card ensue in person, the thought of the Brewers in general was really painful. I don't think I'll ever be able to get that image out of my head of Pete Alonso's home run going over that right field wall. But it's been a long time since then, and the thought of Brewers baseball is starting to make me really excited, not gonna lie. With the passing of the great Bob Uecker, I was reminded of how fun it is to watch baseball. I couldn't go on Instagram without seeing one of Bob's iconic calls to a legendary Brewers moment. You know, you knew Bob Uecker was influential and beloved among Brewers fans, but I think after he passed, you really got to see the kind of reach he had. I mean, I'm not near Milwaukee at all, and there's this billboard that I would drive by coming back from work that just read Mr. Baseball. And it just shows like there's so many people out there that really love Bob. It's I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. He had the ability to unite people that you never would think been united. And I feel like that's kind of something that baseball is in general. I mean, you can become best friends with a stranger you've never met before just by watching the game of baseball. So now with the topic of Brewers baseball constantly occupying my mind, there's only one question I couldn't stop thinking about. Should I even be excited for the Brewers in 2025? So, in this video, we're going to get into the Brewers off-season transactions so far, the Brewers farm system, their current lineup, the starting rotation, and the bullpen. First, let's get the two star-studded elephants out of the room. Willie Adames, the fan-favorite power-hitting shortstop, is gone. His time in Milwaukee will never be forgotten, and he will always hold a special place in our hearts. But with that being said, there's an empty space right in the center of the 4-5 hole, and questions of who is going to be the next shortstop has opened up. Will it be Bryce Trang, the Gold Glove second baseman who spent the majority of his time playing shortstop in the minors? How about Joey Ortiz, who, similar to Trang, has a great glove arm and played shortstop throughout his minor league career? Then there's also Cooper Pratt, the 19-year-old 44th ranked prospect on the MLB Top 100. He plays shortstop. And then you can't forget Jesus Made, who just signed with the Brewers, 78th ranked prospect. Or do the Brewers test out the market for someone who can fill Willie's cleats? The truth is, the best case scenario would be if the Brewers could keep both Bryce and Joey at their respective positions because they're so great where they are at. However, there are two problems with that. Number one, the Brewers don't like to spend money. A tale as old as time, money talks, and the Brewers don't have anywhere close to as much money as the big markets like the NL runner-up Mets, World Series champions in the LA Dodgers, and of course World Series runner-ups with the New York Yankees. These teams all rank top 5 in the payroll, and unfortunately this past season showed more than ever, if you want to get a player, you're going to have to open up your wallet. But let's see who the Brewers could have gotten if we did end up opening our wallet. Problem 2. For the shortstop market, it was really either Willie Adames, Ha-Seong Kim, or trash. The market is almost always really boring whenever we need a guy, and that stays true for this year. So in the end, we're going to have to keep the shortstop position in-house. So personally, I'd like to see Terang move to shortstop. He has more range and a similar arm compared to Joey Ortiz, and he makes these shortstop athleticism movements already at second base. So I think the fit would only be natural for him. But what do you think? I don't know, I could be wrong. Willie Adames is a huge loss, but I'm happy that we decided to play his contract out instead of trading him the season before. Unlike Adames, all-star closer Devin Williams didn't get the same pleasure playing out his contract, and depending on how you feel about him, you may be stoked. I believe the decision to trade Devin Williams was a smart one. If you don't know, Williams was acquired by the Yankees for a utility man, Caleb Durbin, who has been bouncing around the minors for 5 years now. Manager Pat Murphy had this to say about him. When we were considering the trade, I know our people understood what kind of guy we got here. He fits a team that plays the way we've been played recently, and we're as excited as heck. With all that being said, don't expect too much. The main attraction to this trade is lefty starter Nestor Cortez. In 2024 with the Yankees, Nestor pitched 174 in the third innings, the most he had pitched his whole career, with a 3.77 ERA, 2.6 WAR, 3.84 FIP, 2 walks per 9, and 8.4 Ks per 9. Admittedly, not his best year, and the Brewers hope to turn him into the all-star he was in 22, where he held a 4.4 WAR, 2.44 ERA, with 158 in the third innings pitched. With the Brewers pitching lab, though, I don't have any doubts that the Brewers are going to be able to turn Nestor into an all-star again. Nestor avoided arbitration and signed a one-year deal with Milwaukee, where he's getting paid $7.6 million. Other than that, Brewers also lost starting pitchers Frankie Montas, Wade Miley, Joe Ross, and catcher Gary Sanchez. With the current state of the Brewers, no matter how you look at it, we have gotten worse since the NL Wildcard Series. The loss of Willie Adames was just too much firepower, and at the moment, we don't have anyone to fill those shoes. The addition of Nestor is nice, but that comes with losing Devin. Devin is a top 3 closer in baseball. However, we still have Trevor McGill, who has proved himself, and don't forget about Abner Uribe, who is a young, promising work in progress. With the notable off-season transactions out of the way, let's get into the state of the current Brewers farm system.
Currently, the Brewers system is ranked 10th in the league, and let's just go over a few prospects that I'm excited about. And this is not in any order or anything. This is just a few prospects I want to get into. So first off, I want to talk about Jacob Misarowski. This guy is got hype the past few years. He right now, I believe, is a starter in AAA. But he throws gas. He throws about 102, I think he topped out at, and has a grade 80 fastball, which is really good, and a 70 grade curveball, which is also above average. So this guy, still only 22 years old, I believe, and he is probably going to see some major league time this year. He is going to be a stud if he pans out. The only problem that he has right now is command. Obviously, when you throw 102 miles an hour, there's going to be some command issues at first. So that's why he's not been called up yet. They're still trying to work on that. But yeah, if he can just gain a little bit of command, he's going to be a stud in the major leagues. So I'm excited about him. The next prospect I want to talk about has been getting some coverage by the media lately. Known for his awesome name, Jesus Made, or Jesus Made. This guy is only 17 years old, but he is currently rising in our system right now. I honestly don't think there's been this much hype from a prospect since Churio. I mean, that was only last year, but this guy, he could turn out to be a amazing player. In the Dominican Summer League, he mashed 331 with the slashes, 458, 554, with 6 home runs, 28 stolen bases, and only a 13% strikeout rate, which is pretty good. His walk percentage rate was higher at 18.1, and he's only 17, so he's got elite speed, a very solid contact hitter right now, and obviously he won't see the major leagues this year, maybe not even next year, but if he can keep developing the way he is, Churio and Made is going to be scary. Then there's another shortstop that is also drawing some interest and rising in our system. Cooper Pratt, he's 20 years old, and he has done nothing but prove himself in his short duration in the minor leagues. In single A and high A ball, he slashed 277, slashing 362, 406, with 8 home runs and 27 stolen bases. Now, his high strikeout percentage is at 20%, which is a little high compared to his 10.3 walk percentage. But again, with Made and Cooper Pratt, both being middle infielders, shortstops in particular, I think this team is going to have a very bright future, along with Bryce Terang, who has already proven himself in the major league level, Joey Ortiz, who can play short as well. So I think our infield is going to be outstanding in the next 10 years or so, for the next 10 years. All right, and then a few more prospects I want to talk about before we move on. One of them that I wanted to add in here is Craig Yoho, who has an awesome name, by the way. This dude, in just less than 60 innings throughout high A ball, double A, and triple A last year. He posted a 0.94 ERA in 101 Ks, strikeouts, again, in less than 60 innings. So that is impressive. And I think he is going to see the major leagues this year. He's 20, I believe he's 24, 25 right now. So I think he's definitely going to see some major league time. I don't know if it's going to be middle of the season or at the September call-ups, but he is one player that has really, really shown out last year in AAA. He rose again from high A ball and went through the ranks all the way up to AAA. So I think he's going to keep on going. All right, and then the last one I want to talk about, who most likely will see the major leagues at one point or another this year, is Jefferson Caro, a catcher who is solid. He's been one of the top prospects for a few years now, and I think I don't know, Eric Haas is back, I know, but if we need a third guy at the catching spot, I think he is definitely next up in line. So yeah, that's what we got for our prospects.
Since 2020, the Brewers have always been a team that has been carried by their rotation with just enough offense to squeak by in most of their games. However, last year in 2024, we saw a lot of great things from our lineup. With help from Turang's breakout season and the young stud Churio, our offense excelled many times throughout the season. But with all that being said, I don't believe the offense will be as good as last year, and this because of the one and only Willie Adames. Christian Yelich should be 100% healthy coming back into the season, but questions of if he will be the same as 2024 Yelich have been brought up. William Contreras should still be an MVP candidate this year, so we should expect nothing less. But now, this is what I believe the starting lineup will look like. Leading off for the Brewers, we have Jackson Chourio in left field. I think we can all agree Chourio is going to be our star. Some projected Chourio to have a 30-30 season, and I completely agree. Chourio has displayed great power, great discipline, and amazing speed. Chourio has flashed both greatness and inexperience in the outfield, so I expect him to be in left, the easier corner of the outfield. Next, batting second, we have William Contreras. William is expected to be amazing and hopefully be a great supply of power. Batting third, I have Christian Yelich. I feel like Yelich will be third and he'll be supplying great run support and help be a threat on the base paths. Yelich is without a doubt the worst outfielder we have. Not to say he isn't able to play the position, we just have a surplus of amazing outfielders. Batting fourth, I have Garrett Mitchell. Garrett has proved that if he's healthy, he will rake, and that's why I have him at 4. He's shown an amazing display of power, and I'm so incredibly excited for Garrett. I think he's going to put up crazy numbers this year and have an amazing breakout season, if he stays healthy. Next, batting 5, I have Rhys Hoskins. Hoskins had a very disappointing year with the Crew, to say the least. He hit right around the Mendoza line, and he didn't have as much pop as we hoped for. However, he was coming off a season-ending injury, and now having a season under his belt, we hope to see him have a season that he did, similar to the one with the Phillies. Batting 6, I have Joey Ortiz, and I do have him at shortstop. And this is because I don't think the Brewers want to put 3 different guys in the infield at new positions, even though I do feel like Turang would be the best guy at short. Ortiz had an up and down year when it came to his bat. He started off amazing, then as the season progressed, he started to slump pretty bad. That's normal for a guy his age, and I feel like he's going to have a surprisingly good year. At 7, I have Bryce Turang. Turang has shown he is a great on-base hitter who can get on and apply pressure on the base paths, where he stole 50 bases. Number 8, I have Blake Perkins playing center. He is an okay bat mixed with insane defense, who we can help supply a steady course of offense. Batting 9, I have Sal Frelick playing third. Yeah, that's pretty crazy that he's going to be playing third, but that's what I feel like it's going to be. Murphy has been wanting to try him out at the hot corner, and I feel like this experiment will come to fruition. Frelick is an amazing defensive outfielder, but like I said earlier, we have a surplus, and with his athletic ability and solid arm, I feel like he'll do great. When it comes to offense, he has been a little shaky, and my personal opinion is that's due to his swing path. He has this swing of a power hitter, so he launches a lot of fly balls, where they will inevitably get caught due to his lack in power. I really hope Sal can adopt a swing like Turang, which is more flat, making it so he hits more line drives and ground balls. So that is the projected starting lineup I have for the 2025 season. However, this obviously could change as the offseason moves on. So I guess we're just going to have to see. And then the guys we have coming off the bench are catcher Eric Haas, shortstop Andre Ministerio, third baseman Oliver Dunn, first baseman Tyler Black, and outfielder Isaac Collins. In summary, I don't think we'll be as good offensively last year. However, I still wouldn't be too surprised if we were. This is mainly because of Churio, Garrett, and even Joey Ortiz. I feel like these guys have a little more experience in the big leagues, and I think they're all going to do amazing. I project Yelich to have a similar year to what he had last year, but he will stay healthy. Fingers crossed, though. And I actually expect William to have an even better year this year compared to his already great 2024.
All right, now let's talk about the things the Brewers fans love and know about the Brewers, and that is the pitching rotation. So, our ace in 2025, I have Freddie Peralta being the ace in 2025 once again. He did it last year after Corbin Burns left and Brandon Woodruff went down. He stepped into the ace role and he did just fine. He went 11-9 and had a 3.68 ERA last year with 173 innings pitched. Had another 200 strikeout season, which is very good for Freddie. I think he's going to be the ace again, especially with Woody coming back from injury. We don't know how guys are going to be, after a big surgery like that. So Freddie is going to be my ace for 2025. Now let's talk about Brandon Woodruff, because once he comes back, he's going to be the second guy in the rotation. He's one thing that Woodruff has been his whole career is consistent, and that's all we really need for him this season, especially coming off an injury. We just need him to be consistent and consistently decent, at least. I don't expect him to be, a Cy Young candidate right away, but if he can just produce and be, eat innings for us, that's what we need from Brandon Woodruff in 2025. Now, the newest addition to this pitching rotation is Nestor Cortez, who we got in the Devin Williams trade. Last year, he got clowned a lot, especially in the World Series when he gave up that home run to Freddie Freeman. But last year, he was honestly fine. He went 9-10, had a 3.77 ERA in 31 games, 162 strikeouts for him. And if we can just get him back to, if he can go back to 2022, that was his best year of his career. He finished top 10 in Cy Young votes. And knowing what the Brewers can do with pitchers and guys who have shown a lot in the past, I expect him, honestly, to be better in 2025 than he was last year, especially pitching in Yankee Stadium, we know how that goes. So I think he's going to be top 3 for us. That's where he's kind of expected right now, and I think he'll maintain that spot throughout the season. Now, at number 4 in the rotation, I have Tobias Myers. This guy literally came from nowhere last year. I had not heard about him until he made his major league debut, and once he got called up, he really never went back down. He showed right away that he was good enough to be a major league starting pitcher, and if anything, above average, because last year he posted a 3 ERA. He pitched in pivotal games, like he was pitching, towards the end of the season when we needed big wins. He pitched in a playoff game, and this guy, again, came from absolutely out of nowhere, but now he has cemented himself into the starting rotation, and he might keep moving up. If he does better than last year, he could potentially be an all-star. So, yeah, shout out to Tobias Myers. The 5th spot, I have Aaron Savale, who is quite literally the most average major league pitcher you could find. And that's fine. That's really what we need him to do in that spot. Obviously some games he got shelled, and some games he did great. That's the life of being a major league starting pitcher. But if he can also just eat innings for us next year, if we need him to go 6 or 7 innings in a in a game, save our bullpen. That's really all we need him to do. And, he's going to be in that rotation, I think, but I don't know if he's going to do much. And then really quick, I'm just going to go over our bullpen. It hasn't really changed much from last season. We didn't acquire anyone. The only thing that we really did was trade Devin Williams, and he missed a lot of last season anyways, so this is kind of looking like early 2024. But right now I have DL Hall. I don't know if he's going to come out of the bullpen next year. He did a lot last year, and especially now with that we have Nestor, I don't know if he's really going to start much. But he did pretty decent coming out of the bullpen, so that's kind of up in the air for grabs, whether he's going to be a starter, that sixth guy, or if he's just going to come with the bullpen. We don't really know yet. Otherwise, Aaron Ashby, someone last year who really impressed me. He kind of made a huge jump compared to the season prior. He was hurt in 2023. But 22, he didn't look great, and he really developed a curveball, a disgusting curveball, and his velocity went up. He's throwing 98, 99 now, so he could potentially be a great guy coming out of the bullpen next year. We got Nick Mears, who's still on the team. He got shelled, or he either went down 1, 2, 3. He's still on the roster. I don't know how long he's going to be there, but Yoel Payamps, who's back. He went down last year compared to 2023, but again, honestly, if you look at his numbers, they weren't terrible. 2023 was so good for him. He went up and down, but that's okay. And then we got Jerry Koenig in the bullpen as well, who really surprised me. Big lefty. Elvis Peguero. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know how long. Is he still on the team? Hold on.
No,
he's not on the team? All right. Good. Elvin Rodriguez. Here's one that I kind of want to talk about. So he got major league time with both Detroit and Tampa. His true rookie year, in 2022, he was terrible. He only pitched 7 games, but he... 35 earned runs in 7 games as a starter, and went 0-4 with a negative 1.5 WAR. But last year in Japan, he kind of revived his career a little bit. He had a 1.73 ERA in Japan last year as a bullpen guy. So that's what he's probably going to do for us, because we did sign him to a major league contract. So he will be seeing time in the majors. And I can't say I'm excited for him, but I will think he might make an impact for us next year. Brian Hudson as well, who's coming back from an injury. He was a borderline all-star last year. I think he should have been, and he's going to be a setup kind of guy for Trevor McGill, who I'm going to talk about in a second. We got Abner Uribe, who's coming back from knee surgery last year. He throws gas, as we know, but we have seen him have command issues. So if he can regain some command, which might be kind of hard coming off injury, I think he will be a setup guy, just because he throws so hard. And then our closer, the guy, Trevor McGill, stepped in for Devin Williams last year, might have an all-star season this year. His development has been really insane, if you think about it, because he was kind of ass a few years ago, but now he's our closer. So that's what we got for the bullpen. Yeah.
So to answer the question, should you be excited for the Brewers in 2025? The answer is yes. We're going to be really good this year. I feel like people are definitely sleeping on us because the loss of Willie, and the loss of Willie will hurt, but they don't understand that our young promising core is going to be insane. We got Garrett Mitchell, Jackson Churio, Sal Frelick, Blake Perkins, Bryce Strang. All these guys are really new to the majors still, and they have a lot of room for improvement. Not saying that they will, but I feel like there's a really good chance they will, and just because our track record of developing guys is really strong. The addition of Nestor Cortez is very good. I feel like our rotation is going to be as good as ever. And then when it comes to Murphy, Murphy knows what he's doing. He's going to lead this team to a championship. If it's not this year, it'll be in the upcoming seasons. And I feel like as Brewers fans, we can do nothing but be optimistic for how good we're going to be this year. All right. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Bye.